Hello, YouTube friends. Jamie Hepworth here. Today, I wanted to share something that came up in my coaching call. I have a private community where I coach men and women, but the majority of the people in my course are women, about how to grow in their capacity to trust Christ and to trust themselves and to trust their will and to sort that out. Sometimes we can have difficulty in being able to claim what we want because it's actually associated with a lot of childhood trauma or baggage, and it's hard to know if the things that we want are actually worthwhile. But during the course of the discussion, there was one of the gals on the call who shared some difficult circumstances. Actually, several of the women shared very difficult circumstances in their family, and they're looking at how do they address big changes in their families' lives, major upshifts, like are they going to stay married to their spouse? Are they going to be able to survive it? Like, what are they going to be able to do? And we talked about things from childhood that influenced the way they were seeing things and some of that. But I realized that if people want to experience something different in their family lives, then they need to have a vision or a hope that something can be better than it already is. And how can you do that when you're only used to seeing the way that things used to be in the past? So like the greatest common denominator is the home life that you grew up in. Was it that great? And even if it was, like, there's probably still things you would like to improve, right? But the scriptures talk about how God has things in store for us that we can't even begin to imagine for ourselves. And so when I have taught a course before on doing home education kind of stuff, and how do you have a family system that really works for what you're doing. And I'll just show you one thing that I do with my kids in my home. It helps everybody sort of know what's going on. You can see a picture here. So something that I do to create vision, and I still have this family vision board on my wall. So I talk to my kids about what is it that matters to us and what do we want to work on? Like, what are we excited about? How do we want to serve? What do we want to learn? What books do we want to read? What vacations do we want to go on? What projects do we want to work on around the home? How would we like to show up together in life? Like, what are the things that matter? Are there habits and routines we want to tweak so that we can all be on the same page of like, oh yeah, we really are good about doing this thing by this time or whatever. Or are there fun activities we want to work towards, like a family culture night once a month, or I don't know. There's lots of things that people could come up with what they want to do together as a family. And I use a family vision board in my home to be able to demonstrate just unified goals for all of us together. And that's something that I have enjoyed having for my family. It's super helpful. And especially for younger children, to just visually see what we're working on. They all can get the big picture because it's on the wall all the time. And then when we are done with something that we've accomplished as a family, we take that off the family vision board and we put it inside a binder where we just, it's called our family vision board success book, and we put it inside a binder. And I write some notes on the back of the paper first, where I just share, what day we accomplished it, how it was, things I want to remember, any stories. It's almost like a family scrapbook of the things that we've accomplished together, that we set out to accomplish together. But what do you do when the things that you want to accomplish are more of like a feeling, or more of like the quality of your relationships with each other? What if there's aspects of a vision that you would love to receive from God that are going to be more difficult to articulate than a specific routine that you could establish in your family? What questions would you ask then? How can someone receive a vision for their family when they haven't experienced that in the past, and they're not experiencing that currently with the family that they're in right now? And what if they're thinking about drastic decisions that are going to alter their family structure forever. Is there hope for them? Or is Jesus left them in the dust? And they just forget about those people who have families that are, not your typical happy nuclear family. The answer is God cares about every family and every person in it. Okay. And so there are ways to receive a family vision. And I have put together a list of questions that can help get you thinking about that. Okay. This is a course that I am so proud of. My friends Nancy Jones and Mikkel Shea helped me to put this together, and I feel like this is my magnum opus as a home educating mom. But I think it could be really beneficial to anybody, regardless of whether they were home educating their children or putting them in public school or any variation. The goal of this course is to find beautiful ways to communicate faith in Jesus Christ in the home setting, and to give you some practical ideas to do that, but also to just really connect you within yourself and connect you to God in the process. And it's very principle based as well. And anyways, I want to share one page that I have in here. Do you want to see? I'll just flip through it a little bit. This is the difference between a Zion and a Babylon education or home culture. We can say that too. Oh man, just look at these pages. They're so lush and so beautiful. And anyways, there's great stuff in here. It's a great workbook, lots of great questions, but this is the one that I want to talk about today, which is all about receiving a vision for your family. So Nicolene Peck, in her book, Parenting House United, she has a book about reaching children's hearts by teaching self-government. And I've been really inspired by her work. And I even recently bought her digital children's treasury of the books of the 4 basic skills that every kid needs to know. And we're reviewing those right now because there have been some issues with saying okay or disagreeing appropriately or learning how to accept a consequence, stuff like that. So anyways, I appreciated her concept in her book, which she gave, which was, 20 years out, where do you want your family to be? And can you pick a family event where you all want everyone to be there? And this is how you want it to feel. And so you can do that. You can pick a year, 20 years out, and it's Thanksgiving dinner, and describe every single detail about how you interact with each other. Are there grandchildren there? How do they interact? How does everybody like to talk with each other? What's the quality, of the food at the table? What does it feel like? And it could be, a family reunion or a special time if you're LDS, you're all in the temple together or something like that. There's lots of ideas for what event might be meaningful to you to hold out as a vision, but that's kind of something that you put your mind into. These are a few of the questions. I'm not going to read them all. If you're interested in this course, I'm going to link it below, and you can sign up and get all of this plus a 10-hour course that is amazing, where you can get this and so much more. But I'm going to read a handful of these. What are your dearest hopes and aspirations for your family? What would you love to contribute to the preparation of the earth for Christ's coming? When the Lord comes, what will he find you doing? What gifts have you noticed in your children that you would like to help them grow? When do you notice that time stands still and you are most happy in your family life? And what problems are your families to heal? Anyways, there's a lot more here, more questions, but these are a few questions that you could take. You can go back and rewind this video and pause with each question, write down the question, and take a moment to journal them out for yourself. Take each question, journal it out, get your own opinion, your own insights, see what's coming up from within when you write it down. And then you can do what I think is super helpful. And you can write that same question down, and you can ask Christ if he can give you some more insight, and you can just tune in and pay attention to what he has to say. I have a video that I recorded of a course or a class on this channel called Casting Out Unbelief. You could basically take one of these questions, put it in a sphere, like I suggest in that class, and ask Jesus for insight about what he has to add to the vision for your family. What is it that Jesus would have you see that you don't see right now, even though you've got like your ideas of what an ideal family life is like? What if there are aspects that you're not picking up on? So no matter what the situation is in your home, this is something that you can do to receive a vision of things that are better and to give you hope that will help you to move forward and make different decisions than you're making right now. I hope that this video was helpful to you. Again, if you're curious to learn more about how to reach your family in new ways, how to create a family culture that is focused on Christ and that is nourishing to your family, this is my Patterns of Zion and Home Education course. And it's not only for people who home educate. It could benefit everybody. I think that there are principles that would speak to everybody. So I'll show you the front cover of it. I'm going to put a link of this to this below. And I hope to see you inside this course. And I hope that you take the time to journal about a vision for your family and to receive God's insight about how things could be better in your home and family life. Have a wonderful day. Bye.